What is going on, guys? This is LSU Recruiting HQ. I am your host, Michael Seditol, and we got a lot to talk about today. We are not going to focus on LSU at all today, so if that's the content you're looking for today, keep going. Um, Today we're just going to talk about college football in general, man, and being a college football purist like I am. Growing up watching college football, loving college football, the regular season, the playoffs, all of it, and everything in between the pageantry. College football is unlike any other sport in America, and I'm going to talk about why we need to keep it like that, right? So our boy Ross Dellinger of SI came out with an article this week talking about how this phantom committee, right? This playoff committee or whoever makes these decisions, right? I don't even know at this point. Like, I think it's just like a bunch of dudes in some suits. They just gather up in a room every week and just come out with some new BS every single week to like keep their name out there in the news and talk about this playoff format, expansion, all that shit. I don't know. It's too much for me. But the news of the week, I guess, is the SEC and Big Ten have put in requests to take it from 1 to 2 auto bids for each league, which means that your ACC and Big 12 champions who were going to get auto bids would now not get auto bids, and those auto bids would go to the second place SEC and the second place Big Ten teams. Yeah, I think that's going to go over like a fart in church, because all that's going to do is piss people off in these other leagues. And right, you're going to start seeing teams and athletic directors looking at their commissioners of their leagues, like the ACC and Big 12, and they're just going to be like, yo, like, you're going to let this happen? And if you're the SEC and Big 10, you're kind of just flexing your power muscles right now, because you really own college football. Between those two conferences, you own the future of college football. Like, what you kind of say goes at this point. And they're just throwing out random stuff to see, hey, can we get this actually done? Like, is this a realistic thing? Like, it's almost like shooting your shot with the girl at the bar, like, you know that you're not ever gonna get, but you shoot it anyway because, who cares if she says no. But that's what the SEC and Big Ten are doing right now. They're kind of feeling it out, saying, well, we tried. Hey, it is what it is. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't matter, because we're still the SEC and Big Ten. We still run college football. Everything runs through us, and they can kind of flex that muscle on and on. But we're going to take it back to the beginning, guys. And I'm going to try to keep this short because I'm going to post this clip on Twitter, I believe. And I'm going to keep it short, but we're going to talk about, like, what is the playoff? Like, what happened to college football as we know and love it? If you're like me, I'm age 26, right? And I grew up old Raycom Sports, right? Whatever channel you used to grow up watching, like SEC football on Saturdays, like, it was just the culture, man. Like, every Saturday you sat down with your family and friends, and you got to work on Monday talking crap to your coworkers about their teams, and you still do that in a way, but in a way, college football is changing right before our eyes, guys, and there is not a single thing that we can do to stop it, because the people that make these decisions, they don't care about the players, they don't care about the coaches, they don't care about the fans. All they care about is the zeros behind the numbers they get, right? So, it's all about TV deals, it's all about money, and they preach this, we're doing this for the players, we're doing this for the fans, and they're not. Because any non-casual fan that's watched college football knows that what makes college football unique is that every single game matters. And you keep expanding this playoff, and you get into a dangerous territory, right? A dangerous territory that I've always feared that we were going down anyway. The 14 playoff brought in this who's in narrative, that the era of opt-outs, the era of players not caring, the era of fans using the word meaningless games. That was never even heard of before all this. And in 2014, when the playoff got expanded to 4 teams, you started hearing that. The media pushed it in your face, the who's in narrative, and it kind of made you feel like all these other games were irrelevant when the entire time they weren't. Just 10 years before, these were marquee games, and I'm a big believer in playoff games happen every single weekend in college football. They just don't have that title, right? That regular season Michigan versus Penn State game is just as big as a semifinal game to both of those teams, right? Because a winner and a loser comes out of that in the chance for a national championship, and a loser gets out of the chance for a national championship. So for me, growing up, always watching the LSU Alabama games, or Auburn Alabama, or Georgia Auburn, Georgia Tennessee, Georgia Florida. Growing up, whatever game you grew up watching that was your big marquee game for your favorite team, that was your playoff game, and you played one every single weekend. Yeah, even when you played Vanderbilt, because you know what happens when you lose to Vanderbilt? You don't have a chance to win in a championship anymore. And it's not going to be like that anymore. And I'm a big believer. You look at it like a stock market would. Uh, if you have a stock that's worth $300, and it gets diluted down, the value of that stock goes down, right? More of something doesn't make it more valuable, is the way I look at it. And college football, to me, in all eyes, was perfect the way it was. Um, Now you have teams in Oregon and California in the Big Ten, and it just doesn't preach anything that I came up believing as college football should be. College football should be regionally based. Like, I want to be able, if you're from Louisiana or you're from Florida, like, I want to be able to talk crap to all of my people saying, like, y'all can't win the SEC this year or whatever. And now it's not like that. It's going to be even worse. Like, in 5 years, we're not even going to recognize what college football was in its present day today, even because it's just changing so rapidly. And they created this narrative that there's games out there that don't mean anything or mean less than certain other games, and that has just never been the case. Everything is what you make of it, right? If you get told so many times that something is meaningless, eventually you're going to start to believe it, and eventually the players are going to start believing it. And so when you watch the Sugar Bowl or the Rose Bowl or the Orange Bowl or the Fiesta Bowl now on TV, and you see that there's 15 to 16 players opted out on both teams, and they're all just shells of what they were just a month ago. It hurts to watch, man, because it sucks, because it takes away from what college football it was, and it takes away from the players, it takes away from the fans, and all it does is create a dollar sign for people who could care less about any of those things. All it does is make them money, and as a college football group, man, there's not much we can do about it but sit here and just wait for these guys to make decisions that are going to hamper the sport that we all grew up in loving. And it's a shame that it has to happen like that, because I don't think the playoff expansion is stopping anytime soon. We just announced that there's a 12-team playoff, which is way too many as it is, and we're going to 14. It looks like we're going to be going to 14 here, just a month after we announced it was going to be 12. And who's to say it doesn't go any further than that? And I'm always going to be the big believer that more is not better, but more means more money. So they're not going to stop until it's too late. Hopefully, the powers of college football and even the influences of college football and coaches and stuff start standing up for what the game is and what the game needs to be, and we can really start making changes and come up with solutions that benefit everybody. But until then, it's just going to keep going on this trajectory, and it's gonna be a lot for a lot of people to process, and it just it is what it is right now. You can't really do nothing to fix it, but talk about it and bring it to people's attention, and maybe create this allure of what this playoff should be and what it is. That's all I got. Kind of my 10-minute rant there. Maybe not be able to post this one on Twitter, but we're gonna still post it up on YouTube. But like I said, if you guys are watching, man, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like the video, share with your friends, man. Get this out here because we need college football, man. College football is the greatest sport on earth, and I'm here doing what I do because I love college football, and you're here watching because you love college football. So together, let's try and get this thing right, and get this in the voice of the people, man, and do what we got to do. But I appreciate you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your weekend. I will see you guys next time.